Oh no, it's part of who they are, isn't it? Oh, she was a badass. There was a time she was a badass too. She's old now, but she used to be a badass. Yeah. And that's what she was fired for. She did say what say it was like in the Holocaust. She says being a Republican is like being a Jew in the 30s. That's what she said. She didn't say during the Holocaust. She was referencing the brown shirts. And then you're on about her getting fired for saying things, I mean. Yeah, but then she won her case, but you're forgetting. Yes, thick one. Yes, it is a lot better, that tin foil. What if you just put it, analyze?
And again, this was not okay, ding ding, and one guy or girl comes out and boom, whack, whack, boom, flash, knockout, done. Wow, spectacular. This was, she took her down, rolled her over, put the arm bar on. And then they got up laughing and hugging and kissing. That was the part that was rubbing people's face in it. The fuck, it'd be like me. I'm 65 years old, and my friend Bobby Pope is a cancer survivor. He's a year older than me. But by cracky, we want to have one more fucking match. But, oh jeez, we want to hurt each other. Can you imagine if Chuck Liddell and Randy Couture had been coerced out of retirement?
Jesus.
And the same thing happened.
That's what one, that goddamn guy. When he saw the Lord of Dad, skinny guy, his wife, like, please, God. It's that, I think, the one that undid it was the laughing at the end where the hugging. I was like they were both delighted and happy. Gina and Rhonda.
Yes.
But then, as Chelsea, you can understand Gina, because she just made $1 million. She wasn't because she hadn't been punched or anything like that, and she the fight was over. So you can't understand why she was celebrating because you just made $1 million for 6 seconds work, isn't it?
Yes.
You didn't get punched in the face. But then I'm shocked because Rhonda, that's actually always fought, hasn't she? Yeah. It was her last 2 fights where she started trying to strike and things like that rather than just doing what she does. I just started sort of gut kick and just ran away like an animal.
It's not a word just because you go, okay, so get a headlock, one tackle, drop down, hip toss, and whatever, and you call everything. It's a word in that Ronda Rousey called this fat, out of shape fucking idol of hers and said, if you lose 100 pounds, I'll get us a couple of $1 million payday. I get to win my last fight. I won't hurt you. Maybe she even said, see how long you can keep me from getting the armbar on if you want to have fun. And that's what they said. That's what, it's a friendly shoot. It's a friendly shoot. It's the same thing. It's a friendly shoot. If Hodge and Dale Lewis had said, okay, Hodge told Dale Lewis, see how long you can go before I get behind you. But they're not really trying to hurt anybody, and it's not a real fucking fight.
I agree with you that it really looked bad for 5-10 minutes after whatever it was, them in the background, even though they weren't being talked to, they were in the background, and it was really more Rhonda than Gina. Rhonda just had a great time smiling, smiling to her face.
Rhonda's confidence.
Just very happy. And like you said, that was a big thing. She wanted to win her last match. She wanted her last fight. Be her thing, and she found a way to do it.
Ruth Blessing was booked, so she got Gina Carano.
Yeah, she knew she was going to win. I mean, she knew there was no way Gina Carano was going to win.
But here's the thing, Gina Carano knew she's going to win too. If it got to that point, there was no intent amongst these people. If it's wrestling, it's been the intent of the guys.
No, Gina, the right thing, that's the weird thing. And once again, Jim did that right thing. She knew Rhonda was coming out, and she went for the gut kick. She did that shit. That hurt. Like you watched that, she landed it. She got pulled into Rhonda's breath back here. Rhonda don't give a fuck. She just piled on her. You know what I mean? The momentum carries her. Like Gina was just stunned that she's tried. She's just so much younger than you, faster than you, fitter than you. That's not why that's going to go with it.
Trying here because the participants know it's a foregone conclusion what's going to happen, but they went through with it anyway. It'd be like me saying, hey, I'll take Brock on in a shoot. That's the main event.
It's funny too, because before the fight, they interviewed CM Punk in the crowd.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he described it.
He stood out because this is not a TKO event. TKO had a problem with this event apparently, but
AJ, I'll be home in 20 minutes.
and in 20 minutes, as soon as he said that, I'm like, fuck, he knows this is going to be over right
And they
away.
hadn't started the entrances yet. And I mean, but that's the thing, is that you and I both said, and it's just, I guess that the MMA fans are more, as I said, sensitive to the idea that there's bullshit going on in their sport too, just of different kinds, than even the wrestlers used to be, because I mean, it's a known fact. And there was one guy on Twitter, somebody bend over or whatever. He was just, it's a condescending, like, well, so you don't know anything about real fights. No, motherfucker. I just know a bunch of people who've had real fights and then learned how to work. Shooters cannot draw money. I'm not talking about their style of work. Obviously, Brock Lesnar, Ultimate Shooter, draws a fortune. I'm talking about shooters who can't figure out how to work. Can't figure out how to... That's why I've had a couple of people, Chael Sonnen's one of them. The things that he says, I don't imagine he minds being quoted about anything. Dana White didn't want anybody shitting on UFC at the start. That's why he stayed away from anything that could be construed as wrestling or, showbiz or whatever, women's fights. But then when he got the guys on top that were drawing money and they got the picture of how to cut the promos and hype the fight, he let them do their shit. And then Brock Lesnar was too much to turn down, and then CM Punk for the gate value. And people are pissing all over Punk's fights, but Punk had fights at least.
No, his was over just as quick, but the guy extended it so.
But the point is,
that's what the guy kept him alive rather than finishing him, and that's why the guy lost.
Rules of any description, boxing, MMA, wrestling, whatever, and you're selling tickets to it.
Anything like that in the UFC.
Then there has to be some promotion, and very often there's going to be a little gaga. But when it's this, would you ever want to see? I know Rhonda's retired now because she got her win, and she was almost the size at one time of Gino Moore, apparently.
She said the interview after the fight, she said she may want to fight again just because she said, like, I have a lot inside. I really wanted to get out, but I didn't get to do anything. That was
I said, I didn't get to do anything. But would you ever want to see another fight from these people?
Yeah. See, that's the interesting thing. This company, MVP, they've had a lot of these boxing matches with celebrities or Jake Paul, and a lot of them have had the width of a work around them. Remember Mike Tyson against Jake Paul?
Did he really clip
that? Oh, yes.
That have seemed like if they aren't the work, it seems like there's a cooperation of some sort. I like the idea of UFC and TKO having competition.
Yeah, that's going to happen. That's a while. There's not like Dana White to leave.
But you didn't ask about if they get some sort of freak show and put it on Netflix, like you said, it was great. That day for Netflix, like it's already.
Oh shit! Yes, I've got to put it on.
All this content.
No, it's on. I'll put it on. It's already on. It's already on.
Okay, so then how are they going to get a crowd to build to watch it where it looks like something?
The one thing they actually did great was getting Ronda out. Ronda Rousey sold this
with this
Ronda
Rousey attitude you've got with lady.
Sold this bill of goods.
I don't know who else they can get to do that. Tito Ortiz or someone? I don't know.
No, I'm talking again. Would you spend money on something else from this after this?
What's that,
I wouldn't
BBC?
spend money on
That's the
this.
second
Yeah.
main event.
Yeah, I wouldn't spend money on this, but in terms of ticket buying,
Families having to sell their little kids.
What?
Yeah.
How being or desiring to sell their teeth are not being
the question. Families, they've got no money to
in Britain? Right, okay, oh, okay, right. Oh, right. It's a white side. It's because. Oh, yeah. It's because they talk about culture, but then they never learn about anyone else's culture, do they? Oh, no, the parents, yeah. So it's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy, isn't it? Oh, the sex trade. Oh, no. Yeah, if he's selling it for the sex... No, I mean, if they're selling it for sex trade, then it's nothing to do with them getting food. Yeah, but they'd have to prove to me why they think it's for food. Because that's just part of their culture, just like in Mongolia, you have to give a cow to show the family that you can look after the woman. You're not buying the woman per se, but you're showing the family that you've got what it takes to look after that woman and you're going to take over that responsibility. So the weird thing is, it's not that there's a niceness at it, there is a purpose a lot of the time why they start these things. But I don't think a lot of the times it's just to feed themselves. I think a lot of the time it's just who they are, you know what I mean? They'd sell if they had $1 million, they'd just sell for more. Yeah, but that's the worst thing about white saviors, they never actually know anything about other cultures, like anything about other cultures. It's a little shocking considering how much they go on about it, you know what I mean? You really learn to merge, but one, you should learn that cultures don't merge. You get a new culture from it, that's what always happens. There's no place where two cultures are alive and well next to each other. They start merging, like we see new fast food places and things like that, isn't it? As they come together. So it's kind of crazy now. Like I said, the worst thing for this planet is literally white saviours. Because they force people together that wouldn't normally live together, so there wouldn't be any hassle, you know what I mean? And you can always tell that's who they are, these white saviours as well. Because like I said, what was going they says that if reform win, they're going to push all the refugees to green centres. The amount of green voters who are on about that being a punishment. It's like, but why is it a punishment? If they're nice people, don't do anything, why would you see it as a punishment? And secondly, why aren't you doing that anyway? So, like, if I had a dog I had to give away and bring home, I'm not going to send it to where I think dogs get beaten. I'm going to send it to where dogs are treated well. So why, if you think this section of the country is racist, why do you send the refugees there? Isn't that quite counterintuitive? It's like... We have no time for them.
team promotion, Rousey versus Carano.
If I could, I'd behave
And
like that
here's
joke.
one more
So I would
thing.
put that dog.
One more
Would you
thing.
like to saw? I love you, dog.
I'm complaining from a promoter standpoint, and from a fucking, like, I didn't pay any money for it either, but I feel for the consumer and also the popcorn
No,
fartedness
it
of
was
this
a
whole
rousey
thing.
fight.
If
I'm getting a
Ronda
little
had
fed up
come
at the
out
speed of
there
the
and
fight
just
being the reason people got
roundhouse
from it. It's like, had you
kicked
never
Gina
seen a
in the head,
rousey
knocked
fight?
her goofy,
Did you only see the
or
last two
Gina had
fights where
done the
she
same
fights a
thing
fight
and
and a
Ronda's
star
teeth
she
had
doesn't
flown out
normally
of her
fight in?
mouth
Is that what you saw?
in 10 seconds?
Because to be shocked that
Hell,
Ronda Rousey's fight ended in under 10
that would have been
seconds
the greatest fight of all
just shows
time.
you've never seen a Ronda Rousey fight. That's what she's known for, I mean, quick
This was-
finishes.
And super
I
visible.
was just shocked that her
And it
core
was
strength was strong
obvious from
enough
the start
to take that kick off
that they knew,
Gina. That was nuts.
if not exactly what was going to happen, what they weren't going to fucking do.
don't
Nobody was
think it
going
was
to
a
knock
fixed
anybody's teeth out in this thing. All right,
I genuinely don't think they had that.
Well, it was a long night, an interesting card, a very short main
Yeah,
event.
but Ron decided not to fight. Well, not fight, but not strike.
Gina Carano's disappointment with
Yeah.
not doing
That's what Jim says. Yeah, Jim says that he did that. Jim says she wants to win a last fight, especially for her someone to lose £100. I'll get you $1 million, so we'll have to do it all afternoon. She did it.
In that sense, it's not a real
That's what they
No.
needed was a
Oh, yeah.
remedy. for the workitis that came
How
over.
he describes it, which I can agree with, get behind, is a friendly shoot where they were scrapping, but they were out to hurt each other, and they were friends behind it. But to show that can still work, though, is Shemaya and Strickland. They were friends afterwards, they were friends before, if you like, but they still went to their big shit out of each other. Like, I just think everyone expected Ronda to strike. Especially all the boxes she'd have shown.
Has got your remedy. Because, folks, Willie's remedy is an alcohol alternative that actually works with an uplifting, euphoric buzz you can really feel without any of the negative side effects that you get from the demon rum. The bad breath, the headaches, the bad decisions, the possibly divorce proceedings. You never know what can happen when you're just a drunk laying in a gutter. But when you're with Willie in his remedy gutter, all is right with the world, and you're just blasting off into clouds of soft, fluffy euphoria. No hangover. So, folks, again, if you want to replace alcohol on weekdays, weekends, or the other days that don't fall into those categories,
oh, thank God.
Use Willie.
Kidding me. I've got to start drinking more bedtime.
You were going to say something?
Yeah.
Willie! Willie! It's a low-calorie, low-sugar alcohol alternative that actually works, as I mentioned, but I didn't mention the low-calorie, low-sugar stuff. There's no calories, there's no sugar. I think they dig up some things from out under the trees and just flavor it that way. There's no calories and all this stuff. And they come in 5 and 10 milligram doses. So smooth and balanced, you barely realize you're drinking a THC product at all until you turn to your right and the pink rabbit is starting to talk to the purple rhinoceros. That's when you know to take another drink.
Oh my God, Jim, no, stop drinking.
Blend of THC, CBD,
CBD,
and L-theanine.
L-theanine.
I really didn't like being in the male changing rooms. Though
yeah.
I felt really uncomfortable there. I didn't like the smells or the sounds.
Now you go, silent killing. I don't want to say, I don't want to make you cry.
Yes. Officially a woman! Oh, God. So, retard finder says Australian trans woman Roxanne Tickle sued women only Google for girls. After being banned because AI flagged her as male, court ruled it was indirect discrimination. Sex is changeable, apparently, not strictly biological.
And that's on he's not live streaming, so he has got that excuse. I was just a reaction in the moment. That's the best takeout. How do you feel on the
doubled the damages. So is it
he makes this noise like this as well.
Yeah, that's actually the studio we're sitting in. I mean, it's a cartoon representation, obviously, but yeah, that's our room. So anyway, we did a video a couple of months ago in March. I think this video in March we did was about the trans. Yeah. Which was like an International Women's Day thing. It was like the trans woman only thing. But we sort of touched on this whole thing because Roxanne was at that event and it had a link to Cell Robot. Let's just go back in time.
I mean, why not just get a woman out of
if we look at this person, I know this person, and there's a bit of a story behind this. That is Tickle. Remember?
Google versus Tickle.
Yeah, Giggle versus Tickle. So just quickly, there was a app in Australia. This chick made this self-grover chick. This is like last year. It was an app for chicks. It was like social networking for chicks. Find housemates, join clubs, join a netball club, that sort of shit. And this trans woman tried to join, and then
you're the issue there. You've got to do second space. Yeah, because you probably he's not that trans, that's on his way they behave. He's not trans, he's on the behaviour. So I think if you're doing that second take on the side, I think then you are starting to be the issue, aren't you? And then you're looking for a problem, aren't you, in a sense? But when someone's a douche, you should be able to call them a douche when they're a trans lifestyle.
The one that got sued, the girl's app chick, she bought a ticket to this Trans International Women's Day.
Get the fuck out.
She bought a ticket. She said, full disclosure, a few weeks ago, I bought a ticket for this.
Oh.
Right? She provides proof. Here's her fucking ticket confirmation. You're in cell. Here's your order confirmation for International Women's Day for and by trans women.
Did you say incel or incel?
You're in cell.
Oh, okay, not incel.
Not in cell. You're in, Sally.
Okay.
So then the organisers caught wind of this. Now, keeping in context of the fact that this chick had just been sued for excluding a trans woman from her.
Yes.
What did the organisers do?
They excluded her.
They fucking excluded her.
A woman.
Refund for your order. Sorry, Sal, you're not
Right,
fucking
we're
covered.
excluded from Women's Day.
You're not the type of woman.
Welcome to lesbian Buddha.
Access denied.
Yeah, so
I don't want his dicks. You're a hate-filled bitch. Get out!
Now, there is a higher
Because trans are the only ones you can't say no to sex with without getting a hassle, isn't it? Like, you can say no to sex with a woman, no to sex with a man, you can say no to sex with a trans, and you're big, innit? What's wrong with you?
Notoriety is that now we've set a precedent. Men are now
Yeah, it's crazy.
allowed in women's space.
Yeah, it is a crazy fucking world, man.
So imagine now, right, you've got, say, an athlete kind of thing, and they're like really good at running or something like that.
Yeah.
And they want to join the NFL.
Yeah.
They can't reject it. The precedent has been set. Sex is changeable. They're going to accept this fucking...
Yes!
It's not just...
It's insane. No, but because isn't that also bigoted? Because they're judging all trans as a hive mind. They don't accept that trans are just normal people and they will think differently. Like, two trans will have two completely different viewpoints on things, you know. Maybe, like, not on the rights to be trans, nothing like I understand that. But I mean, for everyday life, like cruelty, things like that, but just normal people, it's crazy, man.
Gangs travel from screen.
A legal case that's dragged on for 4 long years. Trans woman Roxanne Tickle taking women's only app Giggle for Girls to court.
Can I just say...
You see, oh, I believe that as well. Don't know what they threw that woman at the event because she was a woman. Why is it women aren't allowed to do the same with trans? Why is it they can't turn around and say, right, this is a woman dating site, no trans? Then why are trans allowed to suddenly apply for trans labour and throw women out of their events, but not the other way around? It's crazy, isn't it?
Something like that. But it's called Giggle for Girls TV.
Yeah. That's one of the songs in my head, 'cause that's what they used on the banner, Gwen Stefani, I'm just a girl.
Chapter.
Just a girl.
Cell growth. It's after her federal court appeal defeat. 3 judges doubled down on the original decision. First thoughts. Embarrassing for them. Grover had just waded through a boisterous media campaign outside Sydney's federal court. While trans woman Roxy Tickle and the last laugh, the high-profile Tickle versus Giggle case.
Reinforces what the Australian community stands for. All women are free from discrimination. Okay, come on, the whole Australian.
But you're discriminating women. You're forcing them to accept you. That's discrimination. You're discriminating against their belief system.
Giggle.
I mean, I think if you did like a man on the street poll, like how many men would say, yeah, that's a chick, man poll?
Yeah, look, a lot would say. A lot. I'd say 90% would be like, that's a
I mean, you've got to be like indoctrinated into that fucked lefty woke cult.
Yeah, don't understand terms. Like social construct.
No, it's not.
It's a social construct. Yeah, it's all words a social construct. What the fuck are you trying to say to me? Get to the next point, Union.
I think even if they presented him in, jeans, jeans and a track top, they would go, that's a man.
Yeah, I wasn't arguing.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying you.
See what I mean? They're arguing a lot as well. Crazy, isn't it?
Who was born male
And the only difference is he stopped drinking.
booted off Grover's women's only self-help app
Yeah. But now he's all tense and things like that. I got a feeling they will divorce. Because this podcast has lost that feeling of them just sitting there having fun instead of laughing. But then she was just talking. And they went, oh, I'm not arguing. It's like, she was making a point that if you just wear jeans, it would still look like the thing was saying, I'm not arguing. And she was quite taking it back to,
Come on, you know what's fucked
and
about
that's
that
what makes it to the
magazine
tape. It's what
back on it?
doesn't
It was
make it to the
secret
tape,
sealed
innit?
section, and it was all
It sounds like they don't want to do retakes with each other, whereas these are. These two should be really good to listen to. So, I'm not saying you should be drunk on it. We never say you've drunk on it before. It's like,
The stoush mushroomed into an acrimonious ideological debate of trans inclusion versus sex-based rights. In 2024,
with sex-based rights, and you're not excluding them because the sex-based rights, you fucking idiot. That's like telling you, it's crazy, isn't it? Oh yeah, but it's not gender, it's gender identity. It's nothing to do with gender, it's gender identity. I don't truck any of that shit. I always correct it, I always make sure it's thinking. And they never answer why they keep dropping the identity. But that's what no one answers. It's like, it's not gender that you guys are confused with, it's gender identity.
You know what I mean? Are we not allowed to say, hey, dude, stay the fuck out of the toilet?
Yeah, all of a sudden you've got Latinos everywhere and fucking female toilets.
Yeah.
Look at me! Girls toilets, I feel so affirmed!
So that's a good point.
I feel so affirmed!
Whatever the fuck. Is that perfectly legal now in Australia?
Yeah, well, one would think so.
women's rights advocate Rachel Wong said, "Bullying set a dangerous precedent."
The role of this war! I'm sorry.
Practical terms, any man who feels like a woman, says he's a woman, identifies as a woman, can access female-only spaces like bathrooms, changing rooms.
Yeah, so there you go. Even Wong backs me up, so dudes can just go to like female-only.
It's like one of those full stats they put out so that there's no evidence of attacks in the toilets, and then there's all these court cases. So it's like, how the fuck did you miss those? It's just like...
I don't think I'd get arrested, but you know, the establishment would get in trouble. Like if we went to Movie World or SeaWorld, and I kicked up a big stink about it, and they like backed me up. If they didn't step in and say, "Hey, stop discriminating against this brave, wonderful woman," you know, they'd probably get in trouble for fucking discrimination now because the precedent's been set.
Cool, now I've got to listen to wanking sounds while I'm taking a tinkle.
Grover enjoyed far-reaching support, including celebs, author J.K. Rowling, and tennis great Martina Navratilova. But the $1 million raised to fund the case came from mum and dads the world over.
There you go, Sal Grover's defence fund came from everyday motherfuckers. You know, imagine a degenerate.
Yeah, whereas the trans always comes from special interests. Which we used to know was bad.
Trans activists, they think, okay, we're going to make a big loud noise about this, and it's only going to benefit the way people view trans people in society.
No, it's just make it worse.
It makes it 100 times fucking worse.
Yeah.
You're pissing off normies who maybe wouldn't have even thought about trans people.
Yeah, that's right.
3 federal court judges.
Just because it's not trans, it's also a guy who knows. That's why it's so obsessed with hitting this space. It's so obsessed with dating sites. He goes to a dating site that doesn't want them. So he's forced willing to look at them and things like that.
This AI.
But what bothers me is if it was straight men, that would rightfully be seen as an issue.
This like membership application.
Oh, so she's liable for the discriminating AI.
Yeah, but like, do we have to retrain all AIs now? Like, do we have to?
No, AI won't be retrained. You can't be. That's the weird thing. Always recognise it as man. Because it goes on structures and stuff. You can't teach the AI
I
that.
mean, so what? AI's going to take...
You imagine trying to reprogram an AI, Becky Bone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
Don't about like, can you reprogram that? You imagine trying to reprogram... What's the chat?
It's a shit. It's the kind of shit.
Oh, well,
It's just...
Seems that you've broken Australian law.
oh, that's Saturday Monday. Oh shit, look, it's bank holiday, isn't it? This is fucking You may need to cover it with a bit of tinfoil near the end. It's not bad, is it? See, it's just learning it, isn't it, the halogen oven? It's a different form of heat. No problem, baby.
So now it's just solid and sticks, isn't it?
Yes.
Currently, the media space has been dominated.
Yes. We wouldn't need bread if the bread man did decide he knew better than us.
But what
We wouldn't need bread if the bread man did decide he knew better than us.
Billions of dollars valuation in a very short amount of time.
That's what happened, you know.
And things just got even more messy.
No, you didn't.
These platforms
No, you
in the world,
didn't.
especially
No, you
when it
didn't.
comes to that
No, you didn't.
profitability curve.
No, you didn't.
Metric you've
No, you
probably
didn't.
seen
He looked
online.
through the window, he
And
told me to my face.
realized
He looked
that
through the
one person
window,
running it
saw we had two loads of bread on there,
nobody
and decided we
really
didn't
was.
need.
It's LinkedIn. They'd
See you shortly,
had
later.
no ties to the platform whatsoever. So that's a little bit interesting. But for years, he was quietly making billions running one of the most controversial platforms on the internet.